ECW. They are so strong. Tony Khan, he is so strong for what he does. I'm so proud of him.
This dude's so fucked up in the head at this point.
What is it? Herb Abrams? Remember when I told you he reminds me of Herb Abrams? Like when it first started, like 2019.
Talk about this. He absolutely does.
When I say, but I mean like very early on, like with the 2019 when they're doing like all the fucking press conferences and shit, and he is like wired this shit. I said this guy, because it was right around the time they did the Dark Side of Herb Abrams. Remember that? That was a great episode, by the way. I love that shit. But yes, he is very much losing his mind, and I am 1,000% here for it. He is advocating for war between the companies and fans. He's outright. What did he say today or yesterday? It was outright. He said, animosity between the two companies is a good thing. The natural resource we should be tapping into.
He basically, he also said the only real thing in wrestling is how much we fucking hate each other, AEW and WWE.
I mean, that's not true. I really feel like as somebody who's been advocating, like, it's a really good time, we should all enjoy each other.
He's really trying to ramp up that tribalism right now.
He definitely is, which I would be leaning against that, but that's fine.
Pretty weird that I just promo 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
When you're getting destroyed, you probably should, you would want to, like, lean toward the edge thing, like, enjoy everything, right?
No, unless you're doing, like, the Howard Stern thing, you got confidence in yourself, so you feel like you're gonna keep attacking the bigger guys and make a name for yourself. Well, I mean, that's your opinion, but I think he's doing... Listen, man, a bunch of people tuned in just to check out this footage, man, and guess what I saw?
Hardly any more than the week before.
I saw CM Punk ass be a bitch and deserve to get fired. That's what I saw. I saw it. Who laid hands first? Who put his hands on another employee?
It doesn't matter. Why do you care about
Hold
that?
on a minute. I'm talking about the footage. So you're going to
go against what you believe in real life situations just so you could, like, side with AEW?
I was taught, my mother taught me.
If you got punked out like a little bitch by fucking Jack Perry.
Well, punk him out. He went against what I said. And yes,
hold on a minute. By fucking showing him up on TV. So if Punk does nothing, then he's a bitch.
Well, I will say this from the bottom of my heart. For a guy who it's wrestling first off, so it doesn't all have to be real. Make it work, right? Work me into a shoot, brother. For a guy who made his living talking shit, he sure can't take any shit talk to him.
Well, he did it within the parameters of what was supposed to happen.
He comes out like a total pussy in all this. He waits until my boy Jack's hands are in his hair. He's tucking that shit back, and he ain't worried about him. He ain't sweating him. CM fucking fragile fucking ego over here. He fucking attacks him, and fucking then goes to attack Tony and fucking throws him into fucking a stack of TVs is what he said.
AK points and yells.
He ran at him, and all accounts said that he shoved Tony into TVs. He knocked him over and shit.
Yeah, I remember seeing that live before.
No, that's what it was said. That's what they said. So that's what he did. He grabbed him and shoved him. You say he's pointing at him and shit. It was behind the wall. You definitely didn't see it. I saw a dude come and grab him and pull him off. Tony definitely feared for his life. The real hero in this, Samoa Joe. For saving CM Punk from Jack Perry. Because Jack Perry, if he got his hands on that fake-ass UFC fighter, he would have jacked him up. You know what I'm saying?
The real hero's Hook for just fucking standing there.
Honestly, Hook is like, this is fucking awesome. Hook is probably like, Dad, is this what it was like in ECW? He was like, yeah, actually, kind of a little bit. Rob Van Dam punched me right in the fucking face. This shit was wild.
Very tame compared to ECW.
Yeah, well,
and WWE.
Everybody hides their cocaine use here, outwardly in the ECW. That shit was just like, we're just doing it in open places. I think this is... Oh, and now Mike... Now, okay, obviously we all agree Punk looks like a piece of shit in this thing.
Nope.
And he's an asshole, right?
I don't agree with that.
Let's talk about how it aired.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, There's
a lot to talk about here.
Because I think
I still have to give the breakdown of what actually...
Okay, no, you do that real quick, since you're wrong. Okay. Right.
Alright, so here's what actually happened. CM Punk, like about a week before this, he's on the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani, and he's doing an interview, gets asked about it, and he gives his account, right?
Yeah.
And all this talk is like, Punk's going to be made to look like a liar. They're going to embarrass him.
No, who said that? Define who said that, because I heard that from nobody in credible positions. You heard that from a guy on Twitter?
Your idol, Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez?
No, they didn't. They did not say that. And BJ will he will validate this because he listens all the time. They did not say that. What they said...
Busters were going to get into the lies that they tried to perpetuate.
No, that's absolutely not true.
Yeah. So basically and Al did say this. He said that they were trying, Mel said this. He said that the goal of this was to embarrass CM Punk. To make him look like a liar. Okay?
But if Tony Khan did have this footage and saw it, and heard CM Punk's testament of what happened, he would notice that it's not very far off. There's a couple key parts he missed completely and sounds like an idiot with.
What Punk said is almost exactly what we saw, which was he admitted that he was the aggressor physically. He said that. He said he put Jungle Boy in a chokehold, which,
second time he's been the aggressor in a backstage fight.
Well, we actually have no idea if he was the aggressor in Brawl Out because nobody can talk about it. So we have no idea if he was the aggressor there.
He was.
But
I'm just basing on history, he is.
Puts him in a front face, he pushes Jack Perry, puts him in a front face lock, and then it gets broken up, and that's it. And then Punk is seen yelling and pointing off screen.
Did he go outside of the screen? Did he dive behind that wall for a moment? Yes or no?
Did not.
Yes, he did. Watch the footage right now. BJ, watch the footage right now. You'll see him dive. He dives back
off screen, and we can assume that that's Tony Khan. Bro getting pointed and yelling at makes him fear for his life. No wonder.
Let me tell you something. I saw you in Philadelphia. You would be a bitch about it too, for the record.
Me?
Yes, you.
No.
Yes, you. And BJ too, but you, I'm talking to in this moment, but him too.
No. So basically, okay, so that's everything that happened.
I watched you get bitched up by two Irish guys at WrestleMania, dude. Don't pretend.
We just sat there. We were pulling.
Yeah, I know you just sat there. Just stand up and put down. I said, eat your fucking potatoes and sit your Irish ass down, bitch.
You were Chris Hero.
You had your hands on your head. You couldn't believe it. What was going on? All right, so I guess we'll talk about if we felt this should have happened. Now?
Yeah. I'm going to go right on record and say this was genius. This was genius. And you know why, Mike?
Why?
There's a condition for it to be genius.
Okay.
Because if this builds to Jack Perry coming back, and this builds to Jack Perry fucking taking mannerisms from CM Punk and riding and taking all that momentum, and he teams with FTR, CM Punk's old friends, I want this. And I'm okay with this. But if it doesn't, and Jack Perry, even though CM Punk's not there, and you can't build ultimately to a program with him, everybody's savvy, everybody knows what's going on, he starts doing the go to sleep, people fucking that's heat. He's gonna get heat, right? Him getting fucking, I think it's smart in that sense. If they don't do anything with Jack Perry out of this, then this was a temporary ploy to garner fucking ratings, to end all discussion, because everybody was talking about it. AEW never made a formal, announcement about it or anything like that, CM Punk's comments about it. So by showing it, you essentially end it. You can have discord about should I have shown it or not, but the discord about the situation is over. Because it's clear, we all saw it, end of discussion. Now, them showing it, I think, temporary ploy to get people to watch, right? But I think if you don't turn it into something more, then I think it wasn't the best idea. So, Mike?
I said this going in, if they were actually going to air this, and I'll say it again now, I think this was pointless. I think that their entire goal was to pop a rating. One time, we talked about this last week. They ended up getting a slight boost, barely over 800,000.
They were almost at 900,000. So I actually think at one point, in one of the quarters, the quarter that it did show, it was well over $900,000. $900,000.
They were a little over 800,000. So, to me, that's not really worth it, especially because they're trying to frame it as if they're using this to build something. So they tried to very sloppily frame it as if they're using this to build to the Bucks versus FTR. Oh, because we had to deal with this backstage, we had to put on our EVP hat, so we couldn't focus on the match, and that's why we lost to FTR at All In. Lazy bullshit. You just wanted to show this stuff because you wanted to pop a rating.
Well, that is why, but it wasn't lazy. It was actually a nice play into it. It made sense.
At all. It was such a reach. And you wanted to quote unquote embarrass CM Punk. And honestly, all that happened here is they showed this. The people who are on Punk's side are even more on Punk's side. People who are against Punk are even more against Punk. So you accomplish really nothing with that. And as it relates to Jack Perry, let's say this is to bring him back. First of all, Jack Perry got fucking pushed and put in a front face lock, and he got punked out, essentially. So,
well, first, you've never been in a real fight. What was he supposed to do? Knock him out?
Sure, yeah, he could have.
Yeah, but then he would have also been fired instead of now just being suspended.
Okay.
What do you mean, okay? That's keeping your fucking job. That's actually what you would teach your child to do. Yes, Mike, I think in my situation, if somebody grabbed me like that, I think I'd knock him out, right? But I'd also know that in the back of my head, I'd be like, oh, fuck, I shouldn't have done that. I fucking just lost my job.
I don't think you would tell your son if somebody attacked him at work to not fight back.
I would teach him jiu-jitsu, and I'd teach him to beat the fuck out of him without punching him.
But again, this whole situation was created by Jack Perry, and it was created by Tony Khan. So it didn't even have to get to this, but Jack Perry did what he did, and Tony Khan did nothing about it. He wasn't a leader.
You loved Shawn Michaels, who did this shit all the fucking time. Be a fucking hypocrite more. Talk shit about people. Get people fucking say shit and do shit on screen and behind the scenes, but against his fellow coworkers, exactly like Jack Perry did. CM Punk got involved in something that he was having an argument with. He felt like he shouldn't have been there. Shawn Michaels pretty much got Vader kicked out of WWF. What are you talking about?
To step in for him, so he did it. And then Jack Perry did what he did, and Punk was like, hey, Tony, as the fucking boss, maybe do something about this, and asked him multiple times, and he did nothing about it.
Well, to do something about what, Mike?
That's absolutely what happened.
To do something about what? Yes, Tony Schiavone said, come on over. Okay, but he says, I want to use glass. Hold on, no, but if he wants it and he feels strongly about it as an artist, as a fucking wrestler, then he wants to do it. Let him do it. What the fuck do you care so much about?
It makes no sense. And if
how does it make no sense?
Then, maybe everybody has a conversation about it and then do it. Like, it's horrible leadership.
Why do I have to approve it with CM Punk?
None of this would have happened.
Hold on, why do I as a wrestler have to approve my shit with fucking CM Punk? Tony asked him to come over here. I didn't fucking ask him to come over here. I don't really give a shit. Hold on a minute. I work with a bunch of people who I wouldn't take advice from. What are you talking about?
I'm not talking about advice. I'm talking about why are you going off the script and saying this dumbass shit?
Because he was pissed off at CM Punk for coming up and saying something.
To, help him out.
Listen. Tony asked CM Punk, can you help me? Because I don't think this is great for Jack Perry. And Jack Perry's like, dude, I'm fucking using this shit no matter what. And then, of course, CM Punk's like, oh, that's fucking stupid. Because that's how fucking CM Punk talks. Because he's a jackass.
Khan during all of this?
Fucking, guess what? It should be, it's CM Punk, it's CM Punk being a fucking hard ass. It's CM Punk trying to think that everybody needs to take his fucking advice for everything. He
didn't want to get involved. He said Tony Schiavone was like, hey,
if he didn't want to get, please. If he didn't want to get involved, he would have said no to Tony Schiavone. But he likes getting his. Maybe he will listen to me.
Tony Schiavone begged him to help him.
Please, dude, it's fucking so stupid.
I don't know what to tell you. Of what I've seen so far, Punk's been truthful of what happened. So there you go. But anyways, back to the point at hand. I don't think you're accomplishing anything. Jungle Boy's supposed to be a heel. So what? He's gonna come back as a heel who got his ass kicked, or as a babyface who got his ass kicked, or
nobody thinks he got his ass kicked if the fight was broke up in 5 seconds. Getting knocked out is a fucking ass kicking. Have somebody
the 5 second fight. The 5 second fight.
You've never had any kind of you have no room to talk in that sense.
I don't need
getting a front headlock on because you shoved me first.
Fucking do things that makes people want to fight me.
This is very stupid. The people who have these conversations like you have no fucking idea what you're talking about. No idea at all.
Obviously I do, because what happened, and nobody cared about this. People saw it for the novelty, and it's not going to lead to anything. You don't have CM Punk in the company. You had so many opportunities when CM Punk was in this company to take real-life issues and turn it into something, and you fucking failed because you wouldn't sit
down I agree with
him and the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. By the way, Kenny Omega said, I would have been fine with doing this. So really, it was the Young Bucks.
Or it was CM Punk. Or it was fucking CM Punk, dude. Hold on, this is what I'm talking about. You just put blame on other people. You don't know that. CM Punk also could have been like, fuck you. I'm not having a conversation with them. While the Young Bucks were like, fuck you, I'm not having a conversation with them.
Highly unlikely.
How do you mean highly unlikely? Right. How can you say that with any merit?
And the Young Bucks have never said they were open to anything here. So all we can go off of is what people have said. But again, I'll just leave it like this. I think that it was a ratings grab. They were trying to get a rating here, and it didn't really happen. It went up slightly. They were trying to just get any kind of attention they could, mainstream-wise, trying to cross over, get, maybe WWE fans to watch because they want to see CM Punk and what they're going to do here. Again, maybe, a slight uptick 1 week.
The whole industry was talking about it. So
I
for
don't
the
think this is
record,
anything
everyone
to
had
carry
it.
over. Because, again, your end game is to bring back Jungle Boy and for him to troll CM Punk. At the end of the day, CM Punk's not there, so you're not going to have any kind of resolution to that. So, to me, it's pointless.
But it's a gimmick. It's something to start getting him over as a monster heel. Because
gimmick.
I still think he's a fucking guy who
can.
can.
Not even there.
Yeah, but I also that has never stopped.
If he's doing that, we'll put him on the level of fucking Gilbert, okay?
No,
that's essentially what that is.
That is not at all what it is.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not, because here's the thing. In today's modern wrestling era, there are companies, but these lines are fucking blurred. They obviously had a real life issue. They fucking want to. He's out here saying "fuck you" to him. This is going to get people like you triggered one way or the other. So guess what? As a heel, getting heat, you're right. There is no payoff to it, right? Yet. But he could go to WWE. CM Punk could fucking come back to AEW one day. I don't fucking know, dude.
Boy's not going to WWE when CM Punk is there.
Oh, why? Because you think CM Punk would use his power backstage to keep him from getting a job?
Because I think WWE would be logical enough to be like this.
You could put him on different shows. Do it all the time, right?
Even
they could hash it out backstage. Hold on. You told me they could hash it out backstage. They would have these hard conversations, right?
If we're talking about fucking Kenny Omega, I think, yeah, WWE would do that. If you're talking about fucking opening match Jack, I don't think they're gonna deal
Here's
with
the
that.
thing, you just don't like Jack Perry, even though I think he's pretty damn good.
He sucks for the most part. I mean, I think he's fine in the ring, but I think he's got literally no personality whatsoever. Like, it's not even he's not somebody who's worth going all this trouble for.
That's very stupid. I completely disagree. I actually like him a lot, and I think he's going to be very good in his role. So, BJ, you haven't really talked a lot about this. I wanted to hear your perspective on all this.
Before I get into the airing of the video, I just have some questions for Donnie.
Oh, yes, please, I'm right here.
Yes. So, before CM Punk spoke about this on the MMA Hour, because that, opened the floodgates. All right.
Oh, yeah, when he spoke, when you're talking about the interview with that with WWE Money Mark, Ariel Helwani, yes.
Yeah, a lot of AEW money marks in media right now, too, by the way.
Before?
Not true.
Before CM Punk spoke about it and opened up the floodgates for this all to come back to fruition, right? Jack Perry has been in New Japan. He has not been really associated with AEW, correct?
He tore up his AEW contract, and it says scapegoat on his thing, so his gimmick is still subtly referring to the incident.
He has not been on AEW television, right?
No.
He has not been on television.
Right, so if CM Punk didn't say any of this, we're probably not really talking about Jack Perry. So my question
100% agreed.
I'm sorry?
100% agreed.
Right. So, with what we've seen of the video, right, CM Punk was fired for his part. Mm-hmm. Jack Perry has been suspended for almost 8 months. Mm-hmm. Over 7 months. Does that make any fucking sense? That he's been on an indefinite suspension for that? For his role in that? Does that warrant that length of time to be suspended? Because as far as I'm concerned, absolutely not. I think it's crazy that he's been suspended for that long based on now what we have seen.
Well, here's the thing.
I think it's essentially like Tony Khan is saying if you wouldn't have done this, then all of this wouldn't have happened. I think he's like...
he's being punished for it.
He's calling himself the scapegoat for that reason, I think.
Okay, so now you're bringing him back on the back of CM Punk.
Yes.
That's all this is for.
Hold on, but you just said it. No one, before CM Punk opened his mouth about that situation, right? No one was talking about Jack Perry, really. There was people who say, like, oh, look what he's doing in Japan. We saw the pictures and shit like that. So people knew about it. I mean, it was the New Japan guys, the hardcore fans and the media and shit who saw it, right? But, yes.
Well, because he was gone for 4 months and then showed up in January in New Japan and tore up his AEW contract. That's the only reason anyone talked about Jack Perry is because he went to New Japan and tore up a contract, and everyone's like, "Well,
yes." And then
we have not spoken about Jack Perry since that single moment.
Yes, but
until CM Punk brought it back up.
Yes, and now everyone's talking about him.
Now everyone's talking about it because CM Punk did it. So, again, I don't see how this guy has been suspended for that many months based on what we have now seen. So,
hold on, real quick.
Tony Khan.
Oh, I never said that. That shit sucks.
Fucking bizarre.
We all know that.
You guys were talking about the leadership of Tony Khan before.
I was talking about it. He has none.
Well, yeah, I'm saying I agree.
It's crazy that he's been suspended for that long based on his role. Donnie, you just defended Jack Perry this whole time. That he basically, he made a comment on television and then backstage did absolutely nothing, right? So that fact that he was suspended more than 7 months is crazy to me, just in that sense.
Well, maybe, they're going to...
Tony should fucking suspend himself.
They could quantify the fucking suspension if they want. They could say, hey, you were suspended for 3 months, and then I just didn't have anything creatively for you.
Okay.
So I mean, like it just could be
The
something
only
like
reason I
that.
have anything creative.
But he's mad at him, obviously, because he cost him. But in reality, it was, again, and Mike, I agree with you, you're not addressing these situations. Like, okay, Vince McMahon's a total piece of shit, right? But sometimes he'd be like, you guys are going to fight it out. I don't give a shit. Figure it out. You pick the ending. Whoever fucking wins this fight picks the ending of the match. I'll give a shit. You figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, it's just sometimes you gotta get guys in a room. I know, listen, if you're a big boss, then you gotta be a big boss. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta make hard decisions and get everybody in a room and say, listen, nobody leaves this room till we got a way for me to make money, or none of you guys make money.
And I'll be honest with you. I don't think Punk should have been fired. I don't think Jungle Boy should have been suspended. I think he should have just fucking had them sit down and work it out.
If anything, suspend CM Punk.
In the history of fucking pro wrestling, there's been a million times worse fights than that.
Yeah.
It's a adrenaline-filled business. This kind of shit's gonna happen.
Hold on.
Reportedly, Brawl Out was a lot worse than All In, and none of them got fired. They got suspended.
Right.
First offense, though. Second offense warrants, especially in today's, no, it's not HR. What is it now? People and culture. In today's people and culture world, they fucking 100% view that as fireable offense.
Donnie, we have now seen your living habitat.
Yes. My human cage, yes.
If you were at your kitchen table, and your children were on the floor in front of your table, and they started to fight physically.
Yeah.
Would you say something? Would you get up and...
Yeah, I would be like, fucking, I got 10 on Lucy, and my wife be like, I got another 5 on Daddy. No,
okay.
I would jump in between them, yes.
Right, okay, well, Tony Khan, allegedly, because we haven't seen him, but allegedly is right there, and he's seeing these two people argue, and nothing is being done.
Can I tell you something real quick about billions of dollars and what it does to you?
He's coddled.
You don't have the same way of being raised. You don't have the same way of being, you don't have the same perspective on things. Listen, man, yeah, he was in the same message board you were, booking your booking your e-feds. I know you guys hung out together, right? That's fine. That's great. But the truth is, he then went and ate caviar on a yacht and fucking had no problems in his life to face. Everything was paid for, easy peasy. He doesn't have, honestly, if you told me that the closest he ever got to being in a fight with CM Punk pointing his finger at him, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, that's fair.
He needs to have like an accountability czar or something. Somebody that he trusts and somebody who the wrestlers respect. And it seems like he's kind of trying to groom maybe Bryan Danielson for that role a little bit. But he needs to have somebody who's like essentially in charge of the wrestlers. He can do his little booking shit and he could sign all his favorite wrestlers, but he needs somebody who can handle a situation like that because he's not that guy.
So, to the whole thing now about them actually airing this, I came on here last week, did not think they were going to air video of CM Punk and Jack Perry fighting backstage. I thought it was going to be a bait and switch to get people to tune in. I tuned in, and I was waiting for the Young Bucks to get done with their fucking dumb little speech and intro about it, because I'm like, I want to see what the fuck you're about to do. Because I thought it was just going to be them mocking the whole situation, doing something with FTR, that was going to be some backstage footage with just them and FTR, because they never said up front, this is CM Punk. This is just everyone.
They didn't even mention his name.
They never mentioned it. It was everyone inferring, and then Alvin Meltz and other reporters saying, yes, this is actually about CM Punk. And I'm like, really? They're actually going to do this? So they had me hook, line, sinker the whole way through. So yes, I tuned in for that first half an hour. I'm surprised they put it in the first half hour. If it was me, at the very least, I would be like, hey, watch my whole fucking show almost to stick around, because I did not stick around after that. So the fact that they actually did it, pretty ballsy. What they did with it, though, and this actual footage, like, CM Punk told us this. So when I'm watching, I'm like, oh, this doesn't really seem that bad. And CM Punk already told me what I was going to see. So the whole thing of, like, we're going to show you the real footage, well, yeah, like, it wasn't really that enticing when I'm actually watching it. We have no audio, also, which kind of hurts it. And
right, who knows what Jack Perry said, by the way.
Right.
And that's another thing. Fighting words, that's a real thing. Like, if he, like, said something, like, he asked for it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, dude. But you are such a fucking bitch. It is so fucking funny.
You are going against what you really believe so that you could spew bullshit on the show.
No.
Because if Jack Perry's, like, so what Punk said is that Jack Perry told him to do something about it. if somebody does that to you in that same situation, what are you gonna do?
Let me tell you something. If I'm in my home, right, and I'm fucking in a setting to where I'm protecting myself and shit, I get it. If I'm at the workplace, okay, or better case, Mike, if I'm at jujitsu and we're rolling and we're very getting physical and someone punches me in the face and it's like, I don't feel like it's an accident, and then he says, do something about it. In that moment, I have to realize that if I get into a fight here, I'm not coming back to this gym. I'm not going to be welcome back.
But I don't
probably.
think you would.
But here's the thing.
Realize that.
You're right, because of my adrenaline, right? I get it. But when you're making millions of dollars, it's like the people in the NFL. You gotta understand, you can't do these fucking flagrant tackles. You have to keep your cool under these moments.
All the time, though.
Dude, basketball players fight on the fucking court, right? Like, it's fucking...
I'm a hockey fan. You do not have to tell me about that.
Punch people in the dick.
I've watched two dudes beat the shit out of each other and then, like, kind of head nod, like, that was great, have a good day.
Yeah.
Like, I get it, but I'm just saying...
It's like, this isn't an office job.
But you are being paid millions to do this and represent the company, and when you do it like this, it's in a negative light.
It was backstage. Nobody had to know about it. Just like nobody knew about shit like this.
No one did. But again, you're right. No one did have to know about it. But he's the one who brought it up. He's the one who did that.
This was all created by people not just fucking handling shit the way it should have been.
Well, no, if you want to get to root cause of problems, I think two circumstances created what happened with CM Punk. One is CM Punk's fucking attitude. He can't help but be miserable. So if shit gets a little bit sideways, he starts to get wiggly. He does. He always has done that, and he is self-destructive in that way. He's the same dude who said fucking Undertaker couldn't lace his boots. Same fucking guy. And you know what else? What happened there? No one was able to, mostly, Tony Khan was not able to control that personality, that huge personality, and what it did to everybody else, and the jealousy, and all the bullshit that came with it. Because guess what? That's natural. That's human fucking, that's humans. We're jealous people, we're bitter people, we're petty people, but he had no way in his mind to control it. He just thought it would kind of go away on its own, and then he let legal get involved, and all the bullshit came after that. He said, I don't know what to do. HR, handle this. Guess what? You handle it like a job, like a corporate job, and people are going to get fired for doing stuff when it's really like more like a gym.
I'm just going to say this about the whole storyline integration, which I can appreciate you trying to do something, but the Young Bucks saying, we had to put our EVP hats on and we lost the match because we were so preoccupied.
It's lame
after seeing this footage, this is what you were so like taken aback by. Like, come on.
Well, I mean,
It made them look fucking pathetic. And I'm just gonna say this as far as everything you just said, Donnie. Tony Khan hitched his wagon then to the fucking Young Bucks who don't draw fucking shit, and they could barely get 900,000 people to tune into the show.
Did he? Hold on, real quick.
Video of CM Punk, and that's the only reason people fucking tuned into that show is to see CM Punk on it. CM Punk was a draw for 3 companies.
Let me tell you something, and this is from the bottom of my heart. I think that the EVPs have things in their contract that don't allow them to have to, because I think that Mike, if you're right, if the Young Bucks were like, I'm not going in with CM Punk, and even if he's neutered by their contracts and their status as EVPs, then there's really nothing he could do. So, I don't know. I don't know enough behind the scenes things.
It's clear as day the Young Bucks did not want CM Punk in the company.
They did a victory lap after he was fired.
Right, and they're very pleased that now they are...
I mean, even though they were they were two of the biggest advocates of getting him in.
CM Punk is no longer there. Kenny Omega is currently out with health issues. They're the ones basically, as the EVPs running the show, and supposed to be the big draws for the company, and they are not.
To me, at the end of the day, I get what they were trying to do. This is the type of thing like WCW would have done in the Monday Night War if they had the opportunity to do something like that.
And WWE did the shit too. What was it, Nacho Man and Hulk Hogan?
Compete with the big dog or take down the big dog, like you're going to try to pull out all the stops and do shit like this. But I think if you really sit down and look at it, you're just like, you're using a guy from another company to try to pop a rating, and then at the end of the day, I don't think you can get anything out of it. I don't think Jack Perry is going to be a star. I really don't. I don't think that the Young Bucks versus FTR match, I don't think this really added anything to it. So I think that was just a desperate attempt, ultimately.
Yeah, no, I couldn't disagree more. Great job. Great job, well executed by all involved.
You're using CM Punk to try to build your fucking pay-per-view of storylines, and he's not there. Honestly, it just makes his aura look a lot bigger.
I mean, listen, he gets what he wants in this situation because he does this fuck you thing and he's an anti-hero guy and they're still trying to hold him down across the thing. And really it's just, he's such a bitch that everybody's got to cater to him, then he cries. But it is what it is.